What it do, flight crew? FTC. Flight team stand up! It may be May, but June is on the way. We got the entire history of the NBA. Now, we did this one for the NFL on the man rebound. I can't believe we didn't do the one for the NBA. Let's check out the NBA version.
Like a century ago. And here's what it looks like now.
What the heck was that to me?
So, how did we get here? Well, it all started when a teacher named James Naismith wanted to make a fun game for his students.
I heard about James Naismith.
And boom, just like that, we got basketball. But at first, the game was complete garbage. I mean, they played with soccer balls and used wooden baskets as hoops.
Bro.
Yeah, it was literally basketball. And they couldn't even dribble. But the game quickly evolved. And by 1906, metal rims were introduced. They finally allowed dribbling.
1906 sounds crazy. And first and second, bro. Yo, if I played during this time, dog, I would be in the history books, bro. Yo, I'm averaging 75 points a game during this era.
God. And the very first professional basketball league was formed, the NBL. But 12 years later, another league was created called the BAA, creating teams like the Celtics, the Lakers, the Knicks, and the Warriors. And by 1949, basketball was getting so popular that the BAA and the NBL were like, let's do it. So they merged, creating the NBA. But despite being the number one basketball league in the world, most players in the NBA still had day jobs.
Yo, no, bro. Yo, fam. Yo. I need to start getting the respect that I deserve, dude, when it comes to, like, you know that I'm NBA material. You can't sit up here and tell, bro, this is literally,
one basketball league in the world.
I was shooting this type of shot like 5 years ago.
The NBA still had day jobs.
But it was a problem when I was shooting it, though. This is a professional level right here. Bro, like I said, I'm averaging 75 points per game during this time period, man. Y'all favorite NBA players would literally be going hard day in and day out trying to chase the record-breaking points per game through the season, man. Fam.
Jobs. Like Norman Glick, who worked as a plumber. I'm not kidding. But in 1956, one of the greatest players of all time made his NBA debut. Celtics legend.
Bro, I almost called him Wilt Chamberlain, but Bill Russell. Legend.
I mean, he was so good that he won a championship in his first season and 10 more throughout his career. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that's a flex, bro. Bro, 10 rings?
11 championships.
11?
Celtics dominated the league for 13 years straight, but in 1950,
bro, I would have been a dope passer to Bill Russell. I would have been putting up 35 assists.
His biggest rival joined the league, Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt!
Who could bench 500 pounds, sleep with 20,000 women, and score 100 points in a single game, a record he still holds to this day.
And people really think that 100-point game is not real. Like, come on.
By the way, none of those things were ever recorded on camera, so there's a bit of debate on whether any of it happened.
Cameras wasn't on. 57.
The next 20 years were a dark era for the NBA. In fact, it was almost the death of it. In 1967, a rival league was formed called the ABA, creating teams like the Spurs, Nuggets, Nets, and Pacers. Two different leagues with over 200 players, completely splitting the basketball fan base. Not only that, but 70% of NBA players were addicted to drugs, which was a big no-no. And by 1978, the NBA was down so bad, even most of the finals weren't aired on TV. Nobody cared about the NBA. But
damn!
Actually going bankrupt, the league was saved by two unlikely stars.
Magic and Bird?
This is Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. And in 1978, they were the two greatest players in college basketball history that just so happened to be playing at the exact same time, leading to one of the greatest rivalries ever. They talked smack, got physical, all while dropping 20 points on each other. It became the hottest thing on TV. I'm talking 40 million viewers for a single college game. Between 1978 and 1979, Bird and Magic officially declared for the league, with Bird going to the Boston Celtics and Magic to the Lakers. Meanwhile, the NBA absorbed the four remaining ABA teams, making the NBA the only professional basketball league. And oh yeah, in 1979, they finally added the iconic three-point line. The NBA was suddenly bigger than ever. Hell, the league even started selling players' jerseys for the first time. And it was all led by Bird and Magic. But despite all that, the NBA had no clue what was about to hit them, because there was a kid from North Carolina about to change not only basketball, but the world forever.
MJ.
In 1982, a 19-year-old college player was averaging 13 points and 4 rebounds. Nothing special, but it was enough to help bring his team, the North Carolina Tar Heels to the NCAA championship, and it was during that game that he made a name for himself.
Seemed like college ball back in the day was more popular than the actual pros itself.
Final seconds, with his team down 1, he did this.
18.
Game winner, state championship. Oh, NCAA
Michael Jordan was ready to take over the basketball world. And in 1984, when Jordan was drafted by the Chicago Bulls, he instantly became a star, winning Rookie of the Year and looking like he'd be the face of the game for years to come. But at the start of his sophomore season, Jordan shattered his foot.
Oh, I heard about that injury.
Another player coming out of college, ready to take MJ's spot.
Oh, R.I.P. Len
Bias. This is Len Bias. And the kid was so good, scouts were saying he'd for sure be better than MJ. He was bigger, stronger, and a better rebounder. And in 1986, he was drafted by the Boston Celtics, a team that still had legends like Larry Bird, Bill Walton, and Danny Ainge. But just 2 days later,
Len Bias and Bird combo would have been crazy.
The NBA was hit with one of their worst tragedies.
Local success story took a tragic turn this morning. Len Bias, the Maryland University basketball star on his way to becoming a world champion Boston Celtic, died of an apparent heart attack today at Leland Memorial Hospital in Prince George's County.
He died of heart failure because he used cocaine. The medical examiner said the cocaine in Bias's body was virtually pure, while most found in Maryland is 60% diluted. He said Bias inhaled the powder. Within seconds, it was absorbed into the blood and quickly interrupted the electrical activity in his brain.
Stay away from drugs, y'all. You know, like, if you lick or tree, but don't take it anywhere outside of that, bro, if that's what you decide to do. If you can, just stay sober the rest of your life. There's nothing you're missing out on.
And that produced an irregular heartbeat.
Len Bias tragically passed away.
I hate hearing this story every time, man.
Brought an end to the Celtics dynasty. But there was another dynasty right around the corner. Now, a few months later, Michael Jordan returned from injury and literally became the most famous person in the world. He won 3 championships in a row with the Bulls, released the most iconic shoes of all time, the Jordan 1s, and he was so famous, you could recognize an outline of him. Everyone wanted to be like Mike, and it brought worldwide attention. By 1992, the NBA started playing games in countries like China, Germany, and Russia. And for the first time ever, you had legends like Bird, Magic, and Jordan all playing for the USA Olympic team, forming the Dream Team, aka the greatest sports team ever assembled. At this point, basketball and the NBA was at its peak. It was so big, the league even added 2 teams to Canada, but it was all short-lived.
Vancouver.
Last night, we began the show with the disappearance of Michael Jordan's father. The worst fears have come true. James Jordan was found dead. Victim
R.I.P. Jordan's dad, man.
Jordan was devastated, and being unable to cope with the pain, he officially retired from the NBA in 1993. This left a massive hole in the league, and the Houston Rockets tried to fill it, even winning back-to-back championships. But it just wasn't MJ. So only 2 years after retiring, MJ shocked the world with 2 of the most iconic words in NBA history: "I'm back." But when Jordan returned, he would meet the Black Mamba for the first time. And that's only one of the 8 sections coming up, after a word from our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. See, when you're as good at basketball as I am, you become a guy who couldn't afford blindsided me.
Oh, it's me!
And I didn't know what to do. I couldn't afford the cost of fixing my broken ankle. But after doing some digging, I found something that saved my life. An injury law firm.
Yo!
For completely free, unless you win. Yeah, Morgan & Morgan will fight to give you the best results.
What the hell? Yo!
Well, look, I'm gonna get back to MJ, because with the words "I'm back," he made his return to the NBA, where he and the Bulls went on to dominate the league again, winning 3 more championships in a row, including one on Father's Day, where MJ dedicated the win to his dad. It was truly beautiful. But as Jordan's career came to an end, a new era of players were ready to take over. Players like Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and Allen Iverson. They all brought something the league had never seen before. AI redefined how you could dribble and move with the ball. Kobe brought his Mamba mentality, while no one could contain Shaq's size. But the changes went beyond just the court. By the early 2000s, you saw more players with tattoos. They were wearing chains and jewelry. The league had gotten a complete makeover.
The Nelly Band-Aid is crazy.
By the year 2003, Shaq and Kobe were dominating the league. They teamed up on the Lakers and had won 3 championships in a row. It was a thing of beauty. That was, until their relationship fell apart. Kobe thought Shaq was being a lazy fat ass, and Shaq thought Kobe was mean, so the two ended up hating each other. But all eyes were on a much bigger story. See, there was a player in high school that was more famous than any NBA player.
LeBron!
That was part Magic Johnson, part MJ, and part superhuman. I'm talking about LeBron James, the most exciting prospect basketball had ever seen. I mean, if the league accepted high schoolers, he would have been playing in the NBA at 16. He was that good. And in the 2003 draft,
crazy.
He was selected by his hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, ready to claim his crown as the king of the NBA. But while everyone had their eyes on LeBron, something sinister was going on in the background. A referee by the name of Tim Donahue
this
was
idiot,
rigging
man.
games for the Mafia, telling them which teams to put money on. And it wasn't just a single game, or even one series. He was rigging games for 4 years straight. Tim was literally changing the history of the NBA with each game he ref. But eventually,
I didn't even know that stat line until Rebound said that, bro. It was 4 years he was rigging the league, dog. So that means, I guarantee you, we got a ref right now that's doing that same exact thing, because they always say history repeats itself.
BI got involved. A 2-year investigation was conducted. And Tim,
I remember this nigga though, bro, from fucking early 2000s. That whole scandal and everything came out, but I never like dug into it like super deep. But that is crazy.
jail for 11 months. But the 2000s weren't all bad. In 2007, the league saw the beginning of the super team era in the Boston Celtics, made up of 3 NBA legends, Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce. And I know there were other super teams over the years, the 82 Sixers, the 96 Bulls, hell, even the 2003 Lakers. But for the first time in NBA history, teams were intentionally trading for 3 superstars to try and win it all. And in 2010, the Miami Heat pulled off the greatest super team the NBA had ever seen. Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and LeBron. I mean, they were so good. They made it all the way to the finals in their first year.
Yep.
By 2011, the league had hit one of its lowest points, going into a complete lockout. Basically, team owners wanted to pay their players less. Players said hell no, and the NBA shut down. So, with nothing to do all day, stars like LeBron and KD went and dominated in local gyms. Some players like J.R. Smith went overseas to play, while others were forced to literally find a normal job. No one knew if this was the end of the NBA. But finally, after 161 days, everyone came to a new agreement. And this marked the beginning of the absolutely ridiculous NBA contracts we see today. I mean, dudes like Timothy Mozgov, who averaged 6 points a game, signed a $65 million contract. Players like Kevin Durant were signing contracts for over $160 million. To put that into perspective, the most Bill Russell got paid at the height of his career was $100 grand per year.
I did not know that. I know the NBA contract was very low compared to what they was back in the day, but I did not know that, bro. Bill Russell just even getting that amount is just insane, bro. There's no way.
The most Bill Russell got paid at the height of his career was $100 grand per year.
Dog, that is just disrespect. See, I mean, the worst. I mean, at least the NBA could have just came back and at least like acknowledged it and like maybe like. For the players that made like the Hall of Fame or have like their jerseys retired, I feel like that should like hold some type of a value that they can just come back. I don't know, man. That just doesn't even sound real, dog. Damn.
That is only $975,000 in today's money. With the NBA finally back, LeBron lived it up in Miami, going to 4 straight finals, winning 2 of them. Basketball was witnessing a new GOAT emerge, and the NBA was in the midst of its LeBron era. By 2014, LeBron returned to Cleveland, ready to win his hometown a ring, thinking it was going to be an endless flow of championships. But, there was a team in the Bay Area with a player named Steph Curry who was about to change the NBA forever.
You know what's crazy? Now even like looking at it like throughout the history, like imagine if like LeBron and Wade and Bosh just decided to just stick it through and just stayed with the Heat the entire time. Do you realistically and honestly think, like even Warriors fans coming together on this one too, do you think we still would have won, you know what I'm saying, the rings? and had the success story we would have had if the Miami Heat would have stayed that big three and they wouldn't have split apart with LeBron going back to Cleveland and Wade, I believe he stayed with the Heat a little bit, then went to the Cavs and then Bosh. I forgot. I think he retired, right? Or something like that. But, yo, that would have been a crazy rewrite in history, though, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, LeBron just would have been on some like, oh, nah, you know what? I don't, feel like I got to owe Cleveland anything. You know what I'm saying? Why do I need to get them a ring? Because they was already giving me, if you remember back in the day, they was giving so much hate because he left Cleveland in the first place to go to Miami, and he just ended up staying with the Heat. Yo, that would have been a crazy transfer. That means the Cavs would have ended up getting somebody else, like, throughout, like, history in the drafts or whether it would have been with trades. That's crazy to think about.
Steph Curry could shoot the ball from anywhere.
Where?
And I mean,
and can
anywhere.
still.
The league had never seen anything like it. 3-point shots used to just be, a normal part of the game. But now, we saw Steph Curry making it the #1 option, from hitting more threes than any player in NBA history to taking home the MVP award that year and winning the 2015 NBA Finals. He broke boundaries and changed the way the league viewed shooting. So other teams started shooting threes like crazy, trying to find their own Steph Curry. But there was a problem. The dude was one of a kind. So from 2015 to 2018, it was the king of the league versus the greatest shooter of all time. And it made for some of the most memorable playoff series ever. Like in 2016, when LeBron and the Cavs were down 3-1 to the Warriors in the finals. But somehow they came back and won it all, making it LeBron's greatest accomplishment.
It was rigged,
Meanwhile,
man.
International players started invading the league, like Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic, who account for the last.
Wow, they all came in the same draft?
Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic.
I just realized that today. I didn't know they was all in the same draft. That draft got to be studied.
Players started invading the league, like Joel.
2016 draft is underrated. Embiid or Joel Antetokounmpo and Jokic?
Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Nikola Jokic, who account for the last 5 MVPs from 2019 to 2023. Suddenly, the league's best players weren't even American. It was like nothing the league had ever seen before. But what nobody saw coming was a worldwide pandemic.
Rudy Gobert.
A dangerous virus is spreading rapidly in China, and U.S. officials are very worried that it could come here.
Down to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S.
If I show up to an arena and ain't no fans there, I ain't playing.
Bro, LeBron deadass said that, bro. Yo, and he ended up still playing. They got that lucky bubble ring.
The league was trying to cook up a plan to bring basketball back, and what they came up with seemed insane at first, because the NBA invited teams to Disney World.
That was a crazy time, bro.
While being stuck inside a bubble for 3 months. They couldn't leave, they couldn't bring anyone in, they couldn't even order food from outside restaurants. It was rough, but LeBron got his 4th ring out of it, and nobody got sick. By 2021, COVID was still around, but the fans were back. And we got to see one of the weirdest seasons ever.
Yeah.
And that's lost in the playoffs because KD's foot was too big. LeBron got eliminated in the first round for the first time in his career.
First of all, the Warriors should have
won their
got
first championship since 1971.
Look at
In the 2022-23 season, we got to see a legendary Celtics versus Warriors.
Yeah!
Steph took home his 4th ring.
Like, that season, like, 2022 definitely is a very underrated, like, that aura of NBA season, like, just alone, it's just like, I'm not just saying this because of the Warriors, my Warriors and glorious King Curry won the championship that year, but at the same time, yes, but also hear me out, bro, it's just like, okay, the NBA finally just got back to normal right after, like, the whole pandemic situation and everything like that. And, bro, it's just like that aura of this season is definitely up there with, like, my other big aura season when it was like in the 2000s, like 2005, 2006 season. I think, in my opinion, that has to be a very, very top aura season. And then you can also say that the Warriors 2017 one, too, when they won that ring. But also not 2005, 2006. You know what I'm saying? You talking about that's like me 5th grade, bro. You know what I'm saying? I was like one of the last times I was only watching full sports games, bro. And, bro, I witnessed an entire amazing season. Iverson, bro, 34, 35 points per game that season, bro. It's like every NBA superstar, even LeBron, he was averaging 30 plus. Every NBA superstar, you just seen that main character or superstar energy just that season. That's what really made me fall in love with, like, basketball. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when it comes down to history, that 05, 06 guy, I don't care where it is in the top 5, it has to be in the top 5 somewhere. Because if you was if you're a real hooper and you were able to be old enough to witness it during that time, bro, like you will understand, bro. That season, that was the season Kobe had the 81-point game. Bro, it was just it was an amazing season. I think it was the Heat that won the finals that year, upsetting the Mavericks.
I think it's more important to talk about where we are today.
2023. Obviously, it's 24 now. He did this months ago.
I feel like there's a problem that no one seems to be mentioning. The NBA's most popular players are getting really old, and I think we're about to witness the end of an era. I mean, the typical retirement age for an NBA player is 35.
You didn't have to say that.
Jimmy Butler, James Harden, D. Rose, and Westbrook are all 34.
Bro, you know, I wasn't even I didn't know Westbrook was. I thought Westbrook was 29ish and shit. He has, bro, Harden, bro. I didn't even know Butler, dog. I mean, man, it's gonna be crazy.
Steph and KD are 35, CP3 is 38, and the king of the NBA, LeBron James.
Oh, that's Curry, sir.
Years old too, which makes him the oldest player in the entire.
I predict LeBron's gonna be in the league till he's 45.
NBA.
He's gonna have that Tom Brady longevity.
Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing? These dudes are about to retire, and the league is about to look a whole lot different very soon. Because with 30 teams at the moment, the league has plans to expand to 32 teams. And with how much the league's changed already, who knows what we could see in 20 more years. There's already talks about a 4-point line, airless basketballs, and
we just reacted to the airless ball
that
shit.
might even play in the league. This really is the end of an era and the beginning of something.
Nah, bro. Hey, NBA start doing on robots. That would be my time. I'm done watching. I ain't gonna lie. Niggas is not sitting up here watching robots. I hope that shit is fake. I hope that's just a joke or that's just some extra, you know what I'm saying, league that they do on their own. That's cool. But, bro, you just make the NBA and take it over. Imagine, if motherfucking, look at the title right there. A 6'10.5" robot just taking over the world with the basketball world. Nah, ain't happening. But, hey, what was your favorite part in the history of this NBA?